Alright, welcome to the Strange North channel. This is going to be a shorter video. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up to the two gang videos I just did. Honestly, I was not anticipating that those would be so popular. When I posted that first one on gangs in Edmonton, I had just barely 1,000 subscribers, and I think my videos were averaging a couple hundred views. I was absolutely blown away at how popular those videos were. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and otherwise engaged with my content. I know that people's time is valuable, and so I'm very grateful that people have actually spent their time watching my videos, and I look forward to doing more down the road. And honestly, now that a lot more people are watching my videos, it really motivates me to create better content and improve my skills. And you may have noticed this, but my channel is really not all about crime and gangs and that kind of stuff. It's primarily a mixture of Canadian travel content and tour guide stuff, as well as a whole bunch of paranormal and mysterious type topics. But I was interested in looking at the gang situation in different cities, and I thought people might be interested in that, and I sort of thought it fell under the umbrella of Canadian travel. And I thought people would be interested in these videos, I just didn't anticipate how many views they'd actually get. And this is going to sound really weird, and I want to be careful how I say it, but I sort of have to thank the different gangs that I've talked about in these videos. Obviously, I don't condone the terrible things that many criminal organizations have done, but the fact is these videos I've posted on gangs are so popular not because I'm interesting or really good at making videos at all. It's because gangs themselves are interesting content. People are generally very interested in crime, gang activity, and drama of all sorts. And so obviously those videos are super popular because of the subject matter, not because I'm really good at presenting the information or making content. But I'm not going to be producing a ton of gang-related content. I would like to do a couple videos in the near future on the gang situations in Calgary and Winnipeg, and maybe some more down the road. But this is not the main thrust of my channel, and there are a bunch of other ideas that I want to present as well. And I've already uploaded the next 4 videos I'm going to post, and they're not gang or crime related at all. I also want to address a couple mistakes I made and things I think I could have done a little bit better. I wrote in my channel description that I aim to be balanced and fair, and I intend on standing by that. And I want to face up to mistakes I make, and I really aim to be fair and balanced as I'm presenting this information. And so there's a few things I could have done better. First off, I repeatedly refer to the Hells Angels as a gang, and I think it's pretty obvious why I did this, but technically they are classified as an outlaw motorcycle club. And I think that motorcycle club is probably the more proper term when talking about this group. And obviously not everyone involved in the Hells Angels is a criminal. This is a very complicated group with a long history, and many of its members are legitimate members of society. And a lot of people in these motorcycle clubs aren't involved in criminal activity at all. But a lot of them are, and I think it's obvious why I called the Hells Angels a gang, but I think I could be a bit more precise with my terminology. And I mean, even in general, I don't know if I have to say this, but obviously not everyone who is in a gang is a bad person. And the vast majority of people that commit crime are not in a gang. And so I think I could have communicated in a more balanced way. Another mistake I made is in the Gangs of Saskatchewan video, where I said that the Hells Angels and the Rock Machine were allied. Now, this was not accurate. What I meant by that is that in the province of Saskatchewan, these two clubs have a relative peace. Biker activity across the prairies is relatively quiet compared to the conflicts that they've had in other provinces, particularly Quebec. I mean, the Hells Angels and the Rock Machine have had major conflicts in other parts of Canada, but it hasn't really spilled over into Saskatchewan. In that province, they have a relative peace, even though both clubs are established in the province. And honestly, I think I could take a bit more time with my videos. I think I rushed that one a bit. And so basically saying that the Hells Angels and Rock Machine are allied in Saskatchewan is not accurate. Those two clubs have had a lot of conflict, but they have relative peace within Saskatchewan, as do most biker clubs. You don't hear a lot about them in that province. Also, in the Gangs in Saskatchewan video, I wish I would have mentioned the Scorpion Brothers. They have been a fairly prominent gang in the province, not as big as the other ones, but their name has come up quite a bit when you're talking about gang conflicts within Saskatchewan. And I just plain forgot to include them in my video. Again, I think I rushed that one a bit, and I want to remedy that in the future. And then in my Gangs of Edmonton video, I think I could have emphasized a bit more the fact that groups like the Alberta Warriors and the Native Syndicate just aren't as prominent in Alberta as they used to be. I mean, they have been very prominent gangs in the province's history, but I think I could have emphasized a bit more that they've really lost prominence, and groups like Red Alert and Indian Posse are just a lot stronger in the province. I also think I could have emphasized the ASAP gang a little bit more. Many members of other First Nations gangs are now members of ASAP, and I did mention this group at the end of the video, but honestly I just didn't know how prominent they were, and it looks like they're a bit bigger in the province than I was aware of. And so that group seems to be on the rise within the province, and I could have definitely emphasized that a little bit more. I also didn't mentioned the Somali gangs around 107th Avenue in Edmonton. I wasn't sure if I should include them or not. They're definitely smaller gangs within the city, and honestly, I don't know that much about them. But for years now, there have been rumors of Somali gangs that operate around 107th Avenue in Edmonton, which is also called the Avenue of Nations. And also in my Edmonton gangs video, I did talk about how larger international gang activity has been reported in Canada in recent times. I think I specifically mentioned the Mexican cartels. But another group that I didn't mention that has had a little bit of limited activity in Edmonton is MS-13. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the fairly recent mass arrest of MS-13 members in El Salvador. And this is a fairly prominent group, and there has been a little bit of MS-13 activity reported in Edmonton, but they are not established in the city as other gangs, and honestly, I have very limited information about them. Oh, and one more thing. I think a couple times I referred to Hells Angels as having chapters, but I think they're officially called charters. They're often referred to as chapters by other people, but I think they're officially known as charters, and I want to use the correct terminology when possible. And so I think I made a few mistakes, and I wanted to address them. And as I also said in my channel description, I want to steadily improve the quality of my videos, and I intend to do that. But I have to say that overall, I do stand by those two gang videos. I think they are very decent and realistic overviews of the gang situations in Edmonton and Saskatchewan. And like I said, this channel is not going to specialize in gang activity at all. I do plan on doing a couple videos on the gang situations in Calgary and Winnipeg, and maybe a few more down the road as well. But my channel is also largely about paranormal and mysterious topics, as well as general Canadian travel. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos, there might be something in there that interests you. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this video. Again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and engaged with my videos. I'm very grateful to you. And as I mentioned, I plan on doing a few more gang videos down the road, but my next 4 videos are going to be about things that are entirely different. I've already made them and uploaded them, and they're scheduled to be released, I guess you'd say, over the next couple weeks. And I'm going to be posting my next video on Thursday, and that's going to be all about a couple of strange disappearances in the province of BC. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Strange North channel.